talent and beyond the passion and love for music, what else does it take an artist to succeed? Is it the multi-million-dollar endorsements, or is it the millions and millions and millions of social media followers? If you ask us, we think that it's the business of music in general. It's the bigger picture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dice, brought to you by The Guardian and, of course, in partnership with Boomplay. Brought to you by me, Sammy Walsh. I will be your host today. Now, my guest today, I'm so happy our first guest is a female. Women empowerment, you know. She's multi-talented. And if you don't know about her, thank goodness Google is definitely your friend. She all sorts answer all your questions out there. But on The Dice today, I have with me in the studio, amazing personality, beautiful as you can see already, my fellow Nigerian, Tomi Owo. Hey, I was asking her behind the cameras how or why Owo. The only thing I know about Owo is money, so people shouldn't judge me. But that isn't the full name. What's the full name?
It's Owolabi. So
Owolabi.
Yes.
What does that mean? Anything to do with money?
Yes, definitely.
What does it mean?
We give birth to money. We have birth to money.
Y'all better be rich. Okay, now Tomi has released a 5-song EP in 2018. What was that called?
Pieces.
Yes. And did you have any features on this, or was it just you?
Just me. But then I had a guitarist feature. Yes, so he played the guitar and featured as an artist.
Okay,
Yes.
now in 2018, this EP was widely reached. Now, what has inspired Beautiful before I even go into it?
Thank you so much, Sammy. It's good to be here.
Very nice.
Thank you
Very
for having
nice.
me. So Beautiful is inspired by new beginnings. This journey didn't just start now, but I feel like right now is a new season for me. So Beautiful was about, when I wrote the song, it was about everyone pretty much trying to find what is missing, trying to start something new in their lives. And I tried to angle it from, you know, the female point of view and the male point of view, look at the things that we are going through as human beings. And that was how Beautiful was born. Seeing these things as the start of something beautiful, and at the same time celebrating the questions, the process, and enjoying it.
Are you a songwriter?
Definitely.
You write your lyrics by yourself?
Yes, I do.
Do you write for people?
I do. I
So
do.
they are the next big thing. The writers are the next big thing in Nigeria, if you ask me. Now, tell me about the 1 song a month project.
Yes. So Pieces, the EP, was born out of a desire I had to keep making music regardless of my present circumstances.
Okay.
I wasn't, you know, into music full time at the moment.
What were you doing at the time?
I was working in the corporate sector in finance.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You are
True to my
doing 2
name.
different things. What?
Completely different, completely different. But then because I knew what was most important to me, I knew what I wanted to do with my life, I made sure that I was making music even while I was, you know, working every single day of the week.
amazing.
Yes, so I released 1 song every month as much as I could. And then the logical thing to do after
Oh,
the
that was
project.
the concept, a song every month.
Yes.
So like 12 songs in the year.
So we did 5 songs.
Roger,
Yes,
in 5
started in
months.
2015, finished in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
How many songs would you do in a month before you narrowed it down to 1 song?
Just 1 song.
Generally, you
yes,
just work
pretty
on one,
much.
so it wouldn't
Yes.
confuse you.
Yes,
Fair.
yes.
I can imagine that a lot of other artists would have like a compilation of 5, 6 songs before they pick the 1 song of the month.
That is
which would make it harder.
True. I was working in 9 to 5, so I didn't have the time.
Fair.
So every month I would focus on, you know, 1 song and get it out. So that's how I was able to build some grit, and it was so beautiful. The response was amazing. I didn't have my face on my cover art or anything.
Really?
I just put the songs out on SoundCloud. But it was so interesting how, you know, the community. Then that's when the altered genre was picking up steam.
And still is popping actually.
It is. It is. So it's beautiful to. Yeah, the logical thing to do was to put everything into an EP, was to compile everything into an EP, and here we are.
Fair, very interesting. Now, prior to this EP, was there anything, or what would you say was the one thing that gave you fulfillment? The way you speak about music, and you knew that I'm doing finance, or I'm doing this completely other different job, but I do want to do music, so I'm going to consistently do it. If there wasn't music, what else would you say would give you that kind of fulfillment?
Fulfillment, right? You know, I feel like fulfillment in itself is very subjective.
I agree.
People have different ways they find fulfillment.
I agree.
For me, if I'm not doing something I entirely love and, you know, doesn't feel like work for me, it would feel like, you know, something is missing. So I knew that I wanted to make music, and that was what was going to make me fulfilled. But while I was working, you know, my corporate job, I didn't feel like I was doing something out of place. I didn't feel like I was doing something wrong. I put in my all into it. You know, it gave me a lot as well. You know, it gave me a whole lot. You know, I earned a salary. I learned so many things. I learned structure. I learned so many
people relationships.
Exactly, teams. So it was good while it lasted, but when it was time, and
we're done.
And it was yes.
Fair. Well, good for you. A lot of people don't really know when to say, oh, I'm done with this and I need to start this. A lot of people tend to drag or hold on to that rope for as long as possible, just because you don't want to let go of, for instance, like the salary and these connections that you've made. So I applaud it, because many of us wouldn't do it so easily. Now, do you see yourself switching to, I don't know what I'd call it. I would say the gang, or like I would say, like the club kind of music, or in fact, it doesn't matter what kind of music. I would say a different sound for you. Would you consider doing that just to create clout or some kind of trend in terms of your career?
You know what? I feel like when SZA, for example, came out, her music wasn't pretty much what you would hear everywhere. But right now, it is popular music. It is mainstream. It is what people want to enjoy and listen to. So I feel the same way about my music. I feel like it's getting to that point where it's going to be...
It'll speak for itself.
Exactly, it's going to speak for itself. So at the same time, I'm very, very experimental. I love to try new things. I'm very innovative. So I look forward to that in my journey. But then I'm going to remain true to myself, and I believe that, you know, as long as you love the music, it's going to be...
It'll work for you, I agree. Hard work, consistency, and the passion, like we've already said. What would you categorize your music as? Where would you put it? What genre would you give it? You can even create your own if you'd like.
You know, I call it Tomi Owo, but then... but
this is fair. It's fair.
It's fair, yes. But then, you know, speaking concretely, I think it's urban soul.
Okay.
It's urban. The urban factor is because I like to play with things, but it still retains its soulfulness.
Fair. Urban soul. I don't mind. Give me another Nigerian artist that you would put under that category.
I think Asha.
Fair,
you know.
Yes, maybe an Asha. Okay, yeah, because she switches it up sometimes. It's not very slow. Sometimes it can be fast as well with her. Fair enough. Okay, have you ever made any decisions that, in terms of money, you felt... How would I put this? Well, let's say since your music career started, you said you started professionally in 2015. Right?
Professionally, so I left my full-time job in 2017.
Okay.
Yes, but I started making the music in 2015.
Your EP that you dropped was in 2018.
Yes. So after everything,
so you had a few years.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever made any decision that seemed to affect your money since this decision, since the career switch?
Yes. So before the career switch, I saved up. You know, I didn't just leave on a whim.
She's wise.
You know, I feel like it's really important.
Some of us just jumped off one horse and went to the other.
Which is fine, you know.
It is not fine. Don't lie to the people. It is not fine.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, go on.
Yes, so I saved up because I knew that I was going into uncharted territory full time.
Fair.
But then, you know, after some time, I knew I had already planned how I was going to do. The next step for me was to cover a few classic songs. So I did that on the music side of things.
Oh, you did covers?
Yes.
Like what? Which one?
It's called Nostalgia Sessions.
Oh.
Yes, so I covered a couple of classics, some Nigerian classics and some Western classics.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then the work just continued to speak for itself in a way. I didn't lobby for anything. You know, people hear the music, people want to know more, people want to invite you, people want to, you know...
They'll find you. They want to know you, yeah.
Exactly. So it was really, really organic, and I'm happy that at each point that I needed something, you know, there was always the supply. So it's just been a journey of growth.
So you've been lucky to not have any money problems because you saved. Is the answer.
I saved, and you know, when it got to those difficult points, you just have to cut your cloth.
Fair. You prioritize what's important and what isn't
exactly,
important.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, this is allowed. Aside music, what other career path if you had to, and obviously not finance because you've done it already,
Done.
what would you do?
You know, I feel
What
like
else are you passionate about?
Ideas.
Okay.
Yes, so you can put me in a room where you need to think up things, change management.
And you'll come up with...
Yes, and maybe I might be a vet as well because I feel like I really like pets and animals. And if I really learned, you know, veterinary medicine,
You would have gone into it.
Yeah,
I think I would have been like a children's doctor.
amazing.
But wait, that's until I met physics, chemistry, you know, anything serious subject. Yeah, I feel the need woefully. So the dream of having the baby doctor life, done. But for what it's worth, I'll still cater to them though. If that was like my second career, I would cater to them. You have 2018, 2015, you said 2017. So that's about, give or take, 3 to 5 years, let's just call it.
Yes.
In 5 years, who would you say, I'll say locally, have been your inspirations? Maybe give me 2, 3.
Okay. Asha,
Okay.
from afar, from a lovely distance, her excellence, her grit, everything.
Do you like the music as well, though? Because I mean, there's
Yeah.
some artists that you find yourself liking, or maybe it might just be me. You find yourself liking for different reasons. It might not even be the music. You just like the way they are, or the way they've handled their lives, or whatever it is. It might not be the music.
Yeah.
But in this case,
I
these
think
are
everything.
fair.
A lot of things.
Okay,
True.
Asha.
Yes. Then the youngins, Teiwa.
Ah, Tay.
Yes.
Tay. Tay's gonna have a great next year. 2021 is for Tay.
Amazing.
Who else?
and Burna Boy. You know.
Okay, I wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah, you know, much more recently, I feel like, you know, it's no easy feat being able to stand your ground and achieve so much. You
And
know,
staying true to yourself.
and stay true.
I find
and
that
stay
he has
true.
done that, yeah.
True, you know, take out the noise, take out whatever you may think about, you know, what's going on or whatever. But that's very, very special what he's doing.
Okay. Who would you say has helped you in terms of understanding the music business and has influenced like some of your decisions?
Yeah.
Who would you say has done that for you?
So I have a very special team.
Okay.
I think that they are very learned in the business. My management, my label, they have been in this for so long, and they definitely know what they're doing. And you know, every single day is a learning process. You know, I have done my research before,
Also as well.
before coming in. Every chance I get is an opportunity to learn. But I feel like, you know, I'm surrounded by a lot of people who know the business, and it's really
know the direction that you want to go in as well.
I want to go as well. Yes.
That's very lucky for you, because I've heard so many cases where your team and the artists are on 2 different pages and it ends up with a different result, which is what you don't want. Now, thank goodness you've said your team is already so great and they work for you. Do you push them? Do you have like these crazy, what would I say? A lot of people are
KPIs
perfectionists
and everything.
Yes. Do you like, are you coming in and focusing on the streaming numbers? Do you want to know how many downloads you've had?
Yeah.
Are you anal about the business? Do you put pressure on your team like that?
So I put pressure on myself. So I
Also.
see all of my back end. Most of my back end, you know, I see, I have access to everything on my phone.
Fair.
And, you know, at the same time, I have a vision. I have plans for the year. You know, every period I have things that I see working for me.
So you have a
working my
target for
brand.
yourself
Yes.
and your team then, I'm sure.
Yes, I do. And as we achieve our goals, you know, we assess every single point in time. Okay, what works now? What should we plug into? Sometimes not everything is planned. So you have to also be flexible. This has happened, or this song is reaching the people in this kind of way. You know, what are the best ways to channel this feeling, you know, to bring value. So it's all about planning, but at the same time being very flexible, being very sensitive to the times, and, you know, getting the money in the end.
Okay, now speaking of the times, 2020 has been like a turbulent year for all of us in our respective lines and careers. How did you keep an eye on your revenue, on your streaming numbers? In fact, how do you... I can't imagine what it was like for everybody, but how did you work your way around this year?
Like like for everyone else, it was initially confusing. We weren't sure what was going to happen. But over time, I adapted. A lot of musicians started to work remotely. I started to work remotely with producers. You know, I picked up a lot of technical skills. Before I would usually work, because my brother is my mainstay. You know, he produces,
okay.
he's an amazing producer, so I do a lot of work with him. Usually I would do that, but then the lockdown started.
And you guys work together easy as siblings?
Seamless. It's beautiful. So I do work with other producers, but you know, I started to learn how to record myself, you know, how to do some basic production work so that I can
If
fix
you
my
were alone,
demos.
you would do anything.
Exactly. So that was really, really helpful. And on the business side of things, I feel like at that time we just needed to sit down and reflect and re-strategize and see what was going to work, because times just changed on us. So it's not all about being the first to, you know, to achieve a new goal or anything. It's all about sitting down and really, really seeing what works for you and knowing the steps to take going forward. So that was,
You seem like such a by the book person, guys. I would want her to plan my anything because it would be so properly planned out. What happens when, let's just leave 2020 alone. Okay, let's just leave them alone. But what happens when your team doesn't meet this target, or in fact you don't meet a target that you've set out for yourself? What do you do?
you know, that happens in life. I feel like at that point you just sit down and assess what went wrong, what do I need to fix. It's never a downer, it's not something that you can recover
failure,
from.
yeah.
It's a stepping stone to more things happening. So that's what
I
it is.
agree. After dropping your EP,
Yeah.
have you dropped any videos?
Yes. So, you know, Pieces was my baby project. And then Beautiful came. It was time for Beautiful. And I'm so happy about, you know, how well Beautiful has done. The video came out about 2-3 weeks ago, a brand new video. So it's presently out. Yes. And then, you know, Beautiful also came bearing gifts.
It did.
Yes, it did. So we have a remix EP, a full-on remix EP.
You've been working. Okay.
Yes. So we treated Beautiful to 5 different sounds. We worked with a producer from Ghana. We worked with with some DJs from SA. We also worked with producers
And all
from
just
here.
doing different remixes of Beautiful.
Yes, different beautiful
that's
sounds.
amazing.
Amapiano, EDM, Afropop. You know, pretty much for the people to see the different sides to the sound.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why didn't you get any collaborations in these remixes?
Oh, the collaborations are coming. But I feel like right now the focus was on the sound, on interpreting the song in different ways.
Yeah, if I had to give any kind of advice to artists, I would always say, especially like the budding artists, I would say, let's just focus on you so people can learn and know you before you take the attention to like a collaborating artist.
Those are very wise words, I think. Except your strategy is to collaborate.
I do understand,
you know.
unless that's the way you
That's the way you
intend
want
to
to
go.
do.
But
True.
I would usually say, especially for like guys, a lot of the guys that have similar looks, let's understand and know what you look like before you do all these collaborations, so that we don't just mix you up with different people. For the longest, I used to mix up, I think it was Kiss Daniel and what's his face? Another one that looks similar. I think about
Skibby.
Zilita.
Okay.
Who?
That's Skibby, is it?
No. Skibby is shorter than Kiss. Kiss Daniel is tall and what's the other guy? Oh, I'll remember. Anyways. All right, now, how do you navigate the whole process that leads you to where you are today? Yeah.
So this is a journey to me. It's a journey. Celebrate the present. Give everything. This I don't want to sound too you know, motivational or anything, but there's this quote that I really like by Albert Camus, and you know, he says that generosity to the future lies in giving all to the present. So if you want to really be generous to your future, to the future of the world, other people, you have to treat each moment as beautifully as you know as you can at that moment. So for me, it's just being very, very present all the time and making the best decisions that I can at each time, and staying true to my sound and making the music that I love and sharing the music with the world, and you know, still planning, you know, still having your visions, but you know,
Having a direction.
And having a direction.
Having a direction is always key.
It's you alone. You're the one and you know it. You want it calm. In case you didn't know it. Nothing is changing. I'm still your girl. You want it calm. You want it calm. Don't worry, worry, worry. You got me, got me, got me. Don't worry, worry, worry. You got me, got me, got me. When you speak, I'll listen. You got me in my feelings. This is forever, boy, you know. You know it's our story.
As this question is thrown around to female Nigerians in every career line, because I have also been asked this question: how do you stay away from the pointed fingers at the woman, at the working woman? Let me put it like that. I'm not even going to talk about the artist.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the producer here. I'll talk about the makeup artist. I'll talk about me and the stylist, and then you. There's all kinds of women in different career lines.
Yeah.
How do you stay true to yourself, which is something that you want to do? Stay away from the cattiness that women quote unquote seem to have, or the competition that they put women against each other. For instance, I'll give you examples. The internet turned Tiwa Savage and Yemi Alade against each other for no reason. Luckily, they're mature people who went away from this, but it's done so much. Niniola and Tenny have been tried to put against each other, not from their personal experiences, just because of what the internet assumes and thinks that women should do and how they should do it and the way they should do it. Now, for artists, for instance, quote unquote, they believe you have to be more naked, you have to do pop songs, you have to, they're just different things they assume that you should be doing to be a successful female artist. Luckily for our era where we are both in, we have the likes of you and Thames and Asha who are breaking out of this box that they've put you into, saying, you have to have Bone Street. I guess that I'm glad to see that there are different people who are staying. And Dija, for instance, Dija never broke out of the kind of person or her principles, and she stayed with it. Do you think that staying in your principles, staying in what you believe, staying in the artist that you want to be, keeps you away from some funds that the bigger, more open female artists get?
Right. I feel like it's all about balance. There is a balance to these things. As an artist, you should never really. I can't tell you what to do, how to do it. But I feel like who you are, who you want to be, should come from inside of you. Then how you choose to express it, how you choose to show it, is then up to best practices. What do you think is wise? If I love to put on hijabs, if I don't take off my hijab, what kind of hijabs will I be sporting in my music videos? Do I want bedazzled hijabs? Do I want, knitted hijabs? So pretty much just owning, just owning who you are with pride and all the confidence. And the world loves, we don't do this in the end. You do this to make yourself happy, and then the world is happy as well. But then when you do these things with utter confidence, everyone would catch on, and that's a new thing. And it goes down in history that this is how this person chose to do it, and she succeeded at it. So to all the women, I feel like no one should be put under any pressure to show skin. You can show skin if you want to show skin. That's you. That's what you choose to do. But it doesn't mean that you have to do what the world is saying you have to do because that's what they want to see, or the stereotypes.
There are really no guidelines anymore to anything.
Just own it to the T.
What would be the most outrageous thing you would do to get attention?
To get attention, I like sandals. I like really, really platform sandals. Really
like Spice Girl platform sandals?
Yes, really. And I have some heights. So it's just so
and you're
weird.
Not short, mate.
I'm not sure.
Goodness.
I don't know where I got that from, but I really, really like them. So I feel like, I would just really wear like really high sandals and do really nice photo shoots, just do something crazy. That's just sandals though. There are other things.
Do you have a signature look, or you try to do different things?
So myself, as I am I think I'm an evolver.
Okay.
You know, I like to be edgy. It's simple. So I've had beads on for the past couple of months. You know, these transparent beads. I love the African look. I love my hair is natural. Next year I'm taking off the beads. I'm going to try out something new. So that's my brand. I'm an evolver. While I still stay true
To yourself.
to myself. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, I did tell you that Tomi Owo was awesome. But I think it's been so interesting. I'm so glad that I tried not to speak to her so that I would on camera for you guys.
Amazing.
But never judge a book by its cover. You guys should maybe listen to more EPs because I find that, and don't quote me, but I find that artists that do EPs tend to put their back into the EPs more than even the albums, because the EPs are mixed up with little different audio things and different voiceovers and different, so it's almost like such a great body of work somehow. I mean, not to say that the albums are not great too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the EPs are shorter, so it's almost like you can pay more attention to it. Now, least I forget, before I let you go, what did you do with your first check?
My first check for music.
For music, no. Fun finance, you have been getting it. No. She's not going to deceive us. Your first ever paycheck for music. How did you spend it?
I was just happy to be able to pay my manager his cut, I think. So I did that, and I saved the rest. I don't remember how I spent it, but I remember paying my manager. And
You're really a
saving the
finance
rest.
guy. You should do that on the side, because
think
people believe that a lot
everyone-
of artists don't know how to save or do anything smart with their money. It would be interesting to see the flip side of the artist. Thank you so much, Tomi, for being with me today on The Dice, brought to you by The Guardian Live and Boomplay. My name is Sammy Walsh. It was a great time getting to know you and talking to you.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, to stream her song, Beautiful.
Yes.
And also find the remixes. I cannot wait to hear the remixes. I'm very curious to hear the remixes. On Boomplay. You can stream it on Boomplay. Oh, I see what you guys did there. Don't forget to subscribe to the Guardian YouTube channel and see more of my beautiful face. And also share, like, and keep the conversation going. I'll be here, same time, same place, next week with another glorious, interesting artist.